Good evening, Chair. Calls to order public hearing for Resolution 00526, MEDAF grant. Ms. Holt, would you like to come forward, please? Good evening.
Good evening, President Vincenti. Come before you this evening to share some exciting news about a company that's making a significant investment here in Harford County and has support from the state in that venture as well. The company is Lufco, and they are located at 1204 Technology Drive in Aberdeen. It's part of the Aberdeen Technology Park. You may be familiar with the facility. It is the former Battelle site there within the park. This is a significant capital investment here in Harford County, approximately $15 million. It is 73,000 square feet. The company currently has 100 employees, and the anticipated job creation with this investment and expansion of their activity would bring an additional 120 employees. It is a Maryland certified woman-owned small business. And I am pleased to share that we do have with us Andrew Loughborough, the COO of the company. Thank you, Andrew. The Maryland Department of Commerce is offering a MEDAF, or Advantage Maryland, which is an incentive program that will provide a $600,000 conditional loan to the Lufco company in support of their investment at this facility. It is an existing facility that will require some upgrades and things to the site, and as a result of that, we provide a 10% match for Advantage Maryland. So Harford County would provide a $60,000 grant to match support for critical infrastructure upgrades at that project site. And before you for consideration is Resolution 00526, which will endorse the state and county support for this technology catalyst. I've provided a quick timeline at the bottom. You can see tonight is our public hearing, and we would request a vote at March 17th. Lufco is a homegrown Harford County small business. They acquired the building in December of '25, purchased the vacated facility. I mentioned it was owned by Battelle. They had a Battelle Eastern Science and Tech Center there, which was a 16-lab complex built in 2003. And it has been vacant for almost 2 years, so we're really excited to see this reinvestment. Lufco, as a company, drives the creation of high-wage, high-skill, specialized jobs within recognized lighthouse sectors by the state, and that tends to be aerospace, defense, and manufacturing. And they are actively hiring top talent to accelerate innovation here in Harford County. You can see some photos taken during a snowy day. The warmer weather is helping, but it is a great facility, great infrastructure. There's 2 photos accompanying this next piece, and I'm pleased to say that Andrew shared that they took possession of this newly painted vehicle as part of a mobile command center that will be active in various parts of our country. And pleased to say a local company helped prepare that operation, Automatic Coatings, in Harford County. So we really like to see our companies work with one another here in Harford County. It is specializing mission-critical systems engineering and strategic innovation to give the warfighter a decisive edge. The site will focus on advanced manufacturing capabilities for microelectronics, and it supports clients including the Department of Defense, various state and federal agencies, private companies, and nonprofits. So that's a very quick highlight overview. We're really excited. They've been very engaged with our community. We recently hosted the Richmond Federal Reserve Bank with some roundtable of our defense and tech business leaders, and Lufco was gracious enough to host us amidst even a renovation of that facility, but to showcase the infrastructure we have here in Harford County.
Mr. Loughborough, is there anything you want to add? If so, just come forward if you do.
No, as a lifelong resident of Harford County, this is pretty exciting, and happy to, put roots here in Harford County and invest in this facility. I remember when the facility was first commissioned in 2020 or 2003. So pretty exciting to be part of the next chapter of it. So thank you.
So I, too, am very excited for you, and thank you for your continued investment in Harford County. I've seen the investments that you've made over the years locally. Very pleased to see that you're bringing another project to the county that's going to offer 120 high-end paying jobs. So really appreciate it. And at this time, I open up the council for any questions or comments. Anyone? Mr. Giangiordano?
Good afternoon, evening. Thanks for coming in. So, pretty exciting. Glad that you took the plunge and went into to do over this building. I know we were talking about the electricity on that, but just to hear some of the different things that you're doing, the amount of people that you have employed, the amount of people that you're bringing employing. We know that there's a lot of technology-driven stuff and defense stuff here, so it's glad to see that, you know, outside the gate and moving forward with that. I just sent this off to a couple people that I know that said, hey, you might want to look into this company and, you know, reach out to them for what you guys do. But thank you for staying in Harford County, and thank you for believing in us, and we certainly appreciate that. So, thanks.
Thank you. Anyone else? Ms. Dixon, do we have anyone signed up?
No, Mr. President, there is no one signed up to speak.
Very good. This will conclude this public hearing for Resolution 00526, and we will take it up on the 17th. All right, thank you.
Thank you.
We'll move into Bill 26001, Harford County Sheriff's Office Pension Plan Amendment. Mr. Salas?
Robbie Salas, County Treasurer, on behalf of the County Executive, asking for some modest changes to the plan documents of the Sheriff's Office pension plan. Now, most of the county workforce are under the state retirement plan, either the state employee retirement plan, or for our law enforcement deputies, they're under the state's LEOPS plan. However, our correctional officers are under the Sheriff's Office plan, which the county administers. And what this change would do is that it would allow for transfers of service credit to have an 18-month window instead of a 6-month window. So several years ago, we enacted a change that allowed for up to 5 years of service time from qualified plans that are either law enforcement or correctional plans to be transferred into the SOPP that would go towards their vesting requirements and towards their future retirement benefits. And what we found is that 6 months really wasn't enough time. It's a big decision that people are making. They, you want to make sure that this is where you want to be, because once you do change your pension service time, once you transfer from one pension to another, you really can't say, I changed my mind, I want it back. But at the same time, we also don't want to have it just open-ended, because what we need to do is to make sure that we are putting aside resources, both the employees' resources and the county's resources, to put them into the trust so that we are able to invest them so that they will be available when they do retire. So we think this is a nice balance. I can say that this is something that the Correctional Officers Association, their union, brought forth to the county executive. We've also taken this before the Board of Trustees of the SOPP, and they are supportive as well. We'll also just note that our SOPP is in really good shape. It's 88% funded. That's significantly better than most other pensions. I will say that when we go to New York and deal with the credit rating agencies, I always have a page on the SOPP talking about, and that's really one of the things that they do look at. How are you managing your pension obligations? And I can say that Harford County is in the right place when we're doing this. As far as the overall cost of this, it's somewhat hard to ascertain. I know there's probably at least one person who's definitely going to take advantage of it, who's currently on staff. And when our actuaries looked at it, they figured it would be about $3,000 per annual required contribution per year, years of service transferred. So if you're transferring 5 years, let's figure about $15,000 to that arc. However, we really won't know until until all the actuarial analysis are done. But the employees themselves will need to transfer either from their prior pension or from a combination of their own funds in the prior pension, an amount that is equal to 9% of their 9% of their salary by the number of years that they wish to have transferred. So this is a kind of a dual obligation on both the employee's part and the county's part.
Thank you, Mr. Salas. Questions, anyone? Mr. Giangiordano?
Good evening, Robbie. So if somebody goes from the correctional facility and they change positions going to the sheriff's office in a different, does that automatically transfer their pension as well?
So if that were the case, if somebody were to transfer from, if they were a correctional officer, and they moved to the law enforcement side, we would transfer funds from the county's pension to the state's LEOPS plan. And so that's how that would work. And then vice versa, if somebody wanted to go the other direction.
Okay, thank you.
Anyone else? Mr. Bennett?
Good evening, good to be with you. I appreciate your work on this, and I'm glad it sounds like everybody came to the same conclusion. You know, the employees and management all agree this is a good thing. So, my quick question is, I know it's come up in the past, over the past few years, but with the expansion of staffing in emergency services, have there been any more conversations surrounding their pension plans for the people who are first responders in emergency services and dispatchers?
We have looked at it. It is a expensive proposition. Law enforcement pension, so like the equivalent of the LEOPS pension, is I believe about 45% of pay. So I mean, if you are theoretically making $100,000, the county would need to contribute $45,000 towards the pension plan, whereas the regular pension system is something more along the lines of 10%. So it is a big change. Plus, you would then also have to make up for the unfunded liability portion of the past, which would add several $1 million to it. So it is part of the conversation. You know, I know one of the things we did this year or in last year's budget was to try to provide some bonuses to those employees to more or less kind of serve as an incentive, for them. But we understand that public safety pensions, are a kind of a fact of life, and I think we continue to look at it, but it has a very significant fiscal note.
And is that even talking about years, because like I think right now to get your full pension as a dispatcher, it's 30 years?
Yeah, now, the dispatchers is another matter. The state, all of these things are ultimately governed by kind of IRS regulations, and they're looking at things like, people's life expectancy and all these other things. And so, let's say firefighters, correctional officers, law enforcement officers, and paramedics are eligible for earlier retirements, but typically dispatch is not under those. So dispatch would not be eligible to join, say, LEOPS, but whereas a paramedic, would be ineligible. So again, it's something that I know other counties, have their own plans for similar deals. How we would go about that. Again, would you, create your own plan? Would you do something else? But again, it would be a very pricey endeavor. And this is always the issue you were kind of dealing with when, because it's all coming out of the same bucket. So either, do we put money into salaries or do we put money into pensions? Mm-hmm. I know 20-year-old me didn't care a whole lot about pensions. 50-year-old me cares a lot about pensions. And I don't know where that breaking point is, 40-something probably. And that is the challenge, because you want to make sure that your salaries are competitive, your other things are competitive, but there does come a point where, retirement is a factor.
Yeah, and there's that delicate balance of you want to have the carrot be enticing to get people to make it to the end, but if it feels so far away, you're like, I'm never going to make it to 30 years, you're more likely to leave at year 12 than if you think, well, I could make it to 22 or 24 years. And
we did structure that, say, with those for the paramedics, for the EMTs, those bonuses were kind of staggered to try to get them to stay for longer periods of time. So,
thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Anyone else? Mr. Riley?
So, when we talk about the Harford County Sheriff's Office pension plan, we're only talking about guys and gals with guns and badges. We're not talking about the civilians, and we're not talking about animal control, correct?
well, in this case, it's correctional officers.
And correctional.
So years ago, the sheriff, law enforcement deputies were under this plan, and then they moved into LEOPS. But no, if you were a civilian who works for the sheriff, you're in the same pension plan as
you
I
are.
am, and the state's attorney's people are, and all of those. So the employee's retirement plan.
Thanks.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Ms. Dixon, do we have anyone signed up?
We do, Mr. President. We have one, Luke Huseman.
To the back, Luke. Give me your name and address, please.
Yes, this is Luke Huseman. I live at 481 Amalancher Court in Bel Air, Maryland. Members of the council, thank you for this opportunity to speak today. I stand in strong support of this proposed pension amendment. This change recognizes the need for ample time to make informed financial decisions from those who are transferring from other facilities. This change, the amendment removes an unnecessary barrier for experienced public servants who bring valuable skills to our county. Extending the purchase window will promote workforce stability, encourage recruitment of qualified laterals, and honor prior public service by giving employees a fair opportunity to consolidate retirement benefits. I want to express my sincere gratitude to Sheriff Gaylor for his continued leadership and unwavering support. I'd also like to thank Treasurer Sandless and the County Executive Casserly for their support regarding this amendment. Their backing reflects a shared commitment to stronger, more equitable retirement system for the county's public servants. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
There are no more speakers.
All right, with no other speakers, this will conclude this public hearing on Bill 26001. We will take it up at the March 17th meeting. Thank you. And right now, we'll take a little bit of a recess till 7:30. Thank you. Chair calls to order Legislative Session Day 26009. I would ask you to please join us in standing for the pledge, followed by the opening prayer. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Heavenly Father, we come to you this evening in prayer, asking for your guidance, wisdom, and support. As we begin this meeting, we thank you for the many blessings in our lives and in our county. We continue to live in challenging times. Give us the knowledge, understanding, and patience needed to legislate on behalf of our citizens. Lord, as always, we ask you to watch over our military, law enforcement, first responders, healthcare providers, and educators. We ask these things in your most holy name. Amen. For presentation of proclamations, Ms. Robert, you want to step down, please? Yes. March 2026, Women's History Month, League of Women Voters.
Good evening.
Whereas the month of March is recognized nationwide as Women's History Month, a time to celebrate the vital contributions, achievements, and leadership of women throughout our nation's history, and whereas the League of Women Voters was founded in 1920 following the ratification of the 19th Amendment to the United States Constitution, which guaranteed women the right to vote and commemorated a major milestone in helping newly empowered women become informed and active participants in democracy. In 2026, the League celebrates its 106th anniversary. The League of Women Voters of Harford County has continued this proud tradition locally by promoting voter education, nonpartisan civic engagement, and informed participation in our democratic process. And whereas during Women's History Month, with the theme being Leading the Change, Women Shaping a Sustainable Future, we recognize and celebrate the dedication of the members and volunteers of the organization who continue to strengthen our community and uphold the important values of civic participation and informed citizenship. Now, therefore, we, the County Council of Harford County, Maryland, on this 10th day of March, 2026, do hereby salute League of Women Voters of Harford County Women's History Month 2026 and express our appreciation for their ongoing commitment to empowering voters and promoting active civic engagement throughout our community.
And I just wanted to say a couple words, thank you. And looking at this year's theme, Leading Change, and thinking of 106 years with Women League Voters, I felt that it was appropriate during Women's History Month, to present this to the organization.
Thank you.
Did you have anything you want to say, Kara?
Sure. Good evening, everyone. How are you?
Good.
It's Women's History Month. We should all be excited. We can do better than that. How are you? That's right. My name is Kyra Skunyon, and I'm the president of the League of Women Voters of Harford County. And as Councilwoman Roberts said, for 106 years, we have been a nonpartisan grassroots organization that strictly focuses on protecting and expanding voting rights so that all eligible voters can have their voices heard. We do not support candidates or political parties at any level of government, local, state, or federal. Our goal is just to make sure that as many people as possible are engaged, informed, and able to cast their ballots to make sure that their voice is heard. So here locally in Harford County, we have a number of voter registration and education drives. We are making sure that students within the high schools, at community colleges, in other trades, that they are registered to vote, because we know if you get young people engaged early, they have a propensity to stick with it. And we carry that all the way up to our more seasoned voters, making sure that they are included as well. So I just encourage you, make sure that your voices are heard. If you are not registered to vote or you need to do an update to any of your voter information, we can get you registered here today. Make sure that any of those changes are made by the June 2nd deadline so that you are well prepared for the June 23rd primary. Okay? Thank you.
Move some of the stuff and then I'm going to grab a photo of all of you. Alright, I'm going to do a couple with the flash and a couple without the flash. I'm going to give you a little countdown. Make sure you're looking. You can get all your blinks out now. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And we're going to do a couple without the flash as well. 3, 2, 1. 3, 2, 1. And one more. 3, 2, 1. Thank you, everybody.
Okay.
And thank you all so much.
Congratulations.
For the recognition. Definitely awesome. Thank you, guys. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Agenda number 5, consideration of petitions, applications, appointments, and nominations. Executive appointments, Commission on Disabilities. May I have a motion, please?
Council President, I move to approve the reappointments of Rachel Harbin, Cher Ortiz Brown, Courtney Wallace, and Malcolm White.
May I have a second?
Second.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. It's been moved and seconded to approve the reappointments. Is there any discussion? Ms. Robert?
I just want to say I'm on the Commission for Disabilities, and I'm grateful to have those recommissioned, and they're all hard workers on our commission, so thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robert. Anyone else? Ms. Dixon?
Mr. President,
Aye.
Mrs. Robert,
Aye.
Mrs. Imhoff.
Aye.
Mr. Giangiordano.
Aye.
Mr. Riley.
Aye.
Mrs. Bolsados.
Aye.
Mr. Bennett.
Aye.
There being 7 votes in the affirmative, 0 in the negative, the appointments are hereby approved. Are any of the recipients in the audience? Okay, thank you. 6, special presentations, we have none. 7, approval of minutes, legislative day 25-008, March 3rd, 2026. Are there any corrections to the minutes? There being no corrections, the minutes stand approved. 8, introduction and consideration of resolutions. We have none. Mr. Giangiordano, please read introduction of bills. Under introduction of bills 9, please read in Bill 26002.
Bill 26-002, supplemental appropriation, estimated expenses, SDAT and MSDE as introduced by Council President Vincenti at the request of the County Executive, an act to make a supplemental appropriation of funds from the general fund for the current fiscal year to provide the necessary funds to cover expenses incurred from the state of Maryland for assessment costs charged by the State Department of Assessment and Taxation and pre-kindergarten private tuition costs charged by the Maryland State Department of Education. Public hearing scheduled on Tuesday, April 14, 2026 at 7:15 p.m. in these council chambers.
Thank you. 10, introduction and consideration of amendments. We have none. 11, call for final reading of bills, none. 12, enrollment of bills, none. 13, unfinished business, none. 14, new business, none. 15, comments and input from attending citizens. Ms. Dixon, do we have anyone signed up?
We do, Mr. President. We have one, Jim Webb.
Good evening, sir. Name and address,
Evening.
please.
My name is James Webb. I live at 329 Bynum Ridge Road. The reason why I'm here is I was at the December meeting about the Ma and Pa extension and about the trash and, the people coming onto our lawns and them only, planting probably about 8 to 10 trees that are going to take 10 to 15 years to mature so that the road noise is there. And when I addressed the council, I was assured that they were, you looked at one another and said that there was going to be a fence put up there. I got a correspondence from Mr. Magnus said there's not going to be any fence for that Ma and Pa extension for 329, 327, and 325 Bynum Ridge. So I guess my question is there going to be a fence, erected there, to help with the road noise, the trash, and the people coming onto our lawns?
Are you finished speaking?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I didn't want to interrupt you.
That's okay.
So I don't have the answer for you tonight, but I believe you're in Mr. Riley's district and Tony's? Okay. Mr. Giangiardino's district, and Mr. Overbay is here tonight. I'll see that Tony gets with Mr. Overbay. Okay?
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
Anyone else?
There are no more speakers.
All right. We'll move on to 16, business from council members. Ms. Imhoff.
Good evening. A couple of events I was able to attend this past week. On March 4th, I was able to attend the Harford County Chamber of Commerce 50th anniversary ribbon cutting celebration. They had a really nice remodel to their building right here off of Bond Street. On March 5th, I was able to attend the Athena Awards breakfast, which honored the women who are making a huge difference in the organizations that are making a huge difference that are female run. For anyone who has never attended an Athena Awards breakfast, I highly recommend it. It is one of my favorite events of the year. On March 7th, I had the pleasure of attending the Harford County Leading Women Annual Award Ceremony, where we were able to celebrate some of the most exceptional young students between 7th and 12th grade, who are not only exceptional students with things like 4.75 GPAs, but they also are community volunteers and just remarkable young women from across Harford County. I was especially proud that there were quite a few ladies from my district, but the students who are honored during that breakfast are exceptional, and you will leave that event every year with a renowned hope for our future. That evening, I was able to attend the Farm Bureau Bull and Shrimp Roast, which had more people in one location than I think I've been in a very long time, so it was great to see so much support for our agricultural community. This morning, along with a few of my fellow council members, I attended the ribbon cutting for the new design showroom for Ward Home Improvements in Abingdon. The showroom gives homeowners the opportunity to explore materials and design options firsthand as they plan their projects, and they have a beautiful showroom. And then earlier today, I was also able to attend the oral argument sessions for the Supreme Court of Maryland of Harford County at Harford Community College's Chesapeake Welcome Center. For those of you who don't know, the Maryland Supreme Court takes this opportunity to partner with different higher education systems to actually move their oral arguments to different locations. So it allows for a more diverse audience to be able to see how it all works. And then students from our high schools and our community college were able to do a Q&A. And those students were so well prepared with some really remarkable questions. And honestly, the Q&A was my favorite part of the whole morning. And then just some upcoming events. Just a reminder that the next Abington-Emberton CAB meeting is this Thursday, March 12th, from 6:30 to 8 p.m. at Abington Fire Company. And then on March 28th, from 12 to 3 p.m., the Harford County Humane Society will be hosting the Jam the Van donation drive at Redner's Market on Fountain Green Road in Bel Air. That's all I have.
Thank you, Ms. Imhoff. Mr. Giangiordano?
Thanks, Council President. So the Chamber of Commerce had their 50th anniversary ribbon cutting, and it was pretty neat because I think one of the original chamber members, which was Bill Cox, was there. And I think that was, obviously, was over 50 years ago. So congratulations to the Chamber. They had a great turnout. I think everybody was flowing out onto Main Street, Bond Street there. So they've done some upgrades to the building. It looks great. So they're definitely a voice for small businesses. So congratulations to them. Also did the Athena Award breakfast, but also went up to, did the Land Trust meeting up at Hopkins Brewing, their 35th anniversary. They gave out a volunteer award to Derek Hopkins and a conservation award to Jay Young for all the work he's done. I know Councilman Riley's going to talk about Jake Givens, so I'll let him talk about that. Also did the Farm Bureau Bull and Shrimp Roast award show today, and that's it. Thanks, Council President.
Thank you, Mr. Giangiordano. Mr. Riley?
Yes, Councilman Tony G said, we went to Looney's, and we didn't go there to drink. We actually went there to recognize a 17-year-old Jake Gibbons as a hometown hero. At 11 years old, he started raising money for the Baldrick's event, where they shave the head, for cancer patients, and he's raised over $50,000 in the last 5 years, $10,000 a year. So we went and presented, me and Tony went and presented a proclamation to the young man, and our state's attorney, Allison Healy, was able to shave his head. Also want to congratulate our newest Eagle Scout, Robert Davis from Troop 965. I also want to congratulate their family. There's three sons that made Eagle Scout, all three of their sons. So, and also Tony G was there to be able to celebrate that with them. And I want to congratulate all the Level Volunteer Fire Company. They just held their banquet last week, and all those that signed up. Thank you, Mr. President.
Thank you, Mr. Riley. Ms. Salves?
Thank you, Council President. I want to let the residents of the Green Ridge community know that there will be a community meeting with Maryland American Water to hear updates and ask questions about the water issues in the community. The meeting will be held this Thursday, March 12th, from 6 to 8 at Fountain Green Elementary School. And a video update for the Harford Academy community will be released on March 19th. I will also share it on Facebook, and my office can provide the link to anyone that would like it. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Salves. Mr. Bennett?
Hello, good evening. It's good to be with everyone this evening. A lot's already been covered. I do want to make sure to highlight that on March 16th, there's going to be a ribbon cutting for the Comptroller's new office coming to Harford County. It's really exciting that Comptroller Learman's moving her office over here. It'll be at 1904 Emerton Road, and the ribbon cutting will be at 9 a.m. And that's all I have this evening. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Bennett. Ms. Robert?
Thank you, Council President. I too attended the Athena Awards. I always love that event. As Councilwoman Imhoff alluded to, it's just really empowering and uplifting to hear the speeches and to see what got these women where they are. I did have a Maryland Affordable Housing Trust Board of Trustees meeting, met the new secretary, Jake Day. He did talk about two bills that are going to be introduced that we should watch. Senate Bill 036, which is the Starter and Silver Homes Act 2026, and then Senate Bill 325, which is the Maryland Housing Certainty Act. They will have some impact in the future, so keep an eye out on that. The Harford County Leading Women's Awards, that's always amazing. That's one of my favorite because I love youth. And there were 21 high schoolers and one middle schooler, and I got to sit with the middle schooler. And so she is ready. She wants to be a poli-sci major and a doctor all at the same time. And so it's a great experience, and I love attending that one as well as Councilwoman Imhoff. The GPAs are very high. And then this morning I attended the oral argument session with the Supreme Court. Being in the court system for so long, it's just great to see it impacting that you're able to have youth actually attend live and be able to participate in that. And I saw some of the high schoolers, and they just seemed really entrenched in that information and watching. And then I too went to the home improvement. I just want to say, coming up March 18th, through the Harford County Public Schools, Families Everyday Happiness is the title, from 12 to 1 via Zoom, and you can register on the public school website, and it's for the parents. And then March 21st from 9 to 1:30 is the housing fair and first home buyers workshop, and that's always at the Epicenter in Edgewood, and you can find that link on the Harford County Housing and Community Services page. And I don't know about anyone else, and this is just a fun fact, but I watch American Idol, and Brooke Rosser is up to top 20, and he's from Bel Air, so keep showing your support. I see on Facebook all over, he's got a lot of supporters, and so hopefully he'll be our next hometown hero if he wins. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Robert. 17, business from the president. I have to advertise our budget work sessions again. Thursday, April 23rd at 9 a.m., Friday, April 24th, 9 a.m., Monday, April 27th, 10 a.m., and Thursday, April 30th at 10 a.m. And the importance of this is that on those dates, every division, every entity that receives county funding comes before this council and presents their budget. So we're looking forward to that. And again, I always say it's difficult because we received the budget, according to the charter, on April the 15th at the end of business. And here we are on the 23rd starting our work sessions that much faster. So we truly appreciate the help of our citizen budget advisors to help us go through that. The public hearings for the budget are Thursday, May 7th and Wednesday, May 13th in these chambers at 7 p.m., open to the public as well, obviously. Events, you've heard my colleagues talk about a dozen events at least, but definitely the Athena Leadership Award is one of our favorite. It recognizes and honors strong, empowered women in our community, and other organizations as well. So the organizational winner was ARC Northern Chesapeake Region, Angela Rose as the individual, and the young professional was Lauren Ward, I believe it is. And then, as you heard different ones say, Land Trust meeting, the Leading Women's Awards, the Farm Bureau Bull Roast, the Maryland Supreme Court this morning, the Ward Home Improvement, and at the Level Volunteer Fire Banquet Saturday evening, we had to leave the Farm Bureau Bull Roast early because my grandson was recognized as the Cadet of the Year. So congratulations to him. He and his young mates, they worked very hard for the Level community. And today, during the Board of Estimates meeting, we received some really good news as far as I'm concerned. I'm sure the citizens will feel the same way. Woodley Road is moving. We have a bid out for, or bids go out April 1st, I believe, for the removal and replacement of the electric that's there, the relocation and installation of the electric, and things will be moving forward beyond that. So it's been 9 years since we first went out and sat with, I couldn't remember if it was General Crawford or General Taylor who we started with, but through Kilgo and currently it just, you know, I'm glad to see it moving forward. It will give an extra access to and from Perryman that is much needed and take some of that unwanted truck traffic off of Perryman Road. And then I want to wish one of our deputies here, Eric Sharp, a happy birthday yesterday. Councilman Bennett, a happy birthday yesterday. And Miss Berry, a happy birthday as well. So, yeah, Beery, excuse me, Beery. I was going to say Harris, but I knew I would catch a devil for that. So. And then finally, Jeannie and I wish to express our deepest condolences to the friends and families of Steve Byer and Donna Mae Ward. We'd ask you to keep them all in your thoughts and prayers. And with that, we'll adjourn this meeting. Thank you.